Hello and welcome to the Hospital Rooms Digital Art School. You're about to watch a geometric heart design workshop with Poppy Lennox. You can find the materials list below and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel.
Hello, my name is Poppy Lennox and welcome to my Hospital Rooms workshop. I am an artist based in London and I work in the mediums of gold leaf, paint and embroidery, predominantly on paper and into birch plywood. I'm very interested in geometry and pattern making. And I look a lot into the geometry in nature, and in particular I look at the nature of and geometry within animals, and at the moment I'm looking at doing geometry in sort of birds and the natural world. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a geometric heart design. And I've got some materials here to show you. First of all, we've got a template here, which is the geometric heart design template, which is printable. I've got some white card, A4 size card. Then we have a ruler, a pencil, any sort of paintbrush that you'd like. Something like a soft brush, and that's for getting off the excess gold leaf. And then in terms of your gold leaf, we have here some glue, which is called Acrylic Gold Size, which is basically a glue that you apply with a paintbrush to stick the gold leaf onto. Some water for your paints, and you can really use any sort of acrylic paint. Water-based paint is best. These paints that I've used are very sort of high intensity matte acrylic paints, which give a really nice covering, but you can use anything you like. This is the Acrylic Gold Size, and then very importantly we have here is our gold leaf. Now this, I usually use real gold leaf, 24 karat, but this is actually imitation gold leaf, and it works absolutely perfectly and is a fraction of the price. So it's very available. You can get it off Amazon even. And then normally with my work at the end I stitch thread into the paper, and if we have time at the end I'll be showing how to embroider thread around the design, which gives it a really nice sort of sculptural and textural element, but we'll see how we get on. So first of all, what you need to do is lay your printable design over the top of the card and make sure that it's nicely lined up. And we're going to be using a pencil just to mark out where the geometric lines meet, and that will allow us to see underneath what the design is. And then it's pretty much a question of joining the dots, and you just join up the lines of the design, and that will allow us to see where we need to apply the gold leaf glue and also the painted sections. What I do is I tend to just hold it up and just check that I've covered all the areas. It's very easy to sometimes miss off a point, and then it's quite tricky to then line up your design again. So there we have your points at which you need to join the dots. You just need to then grab your ruler, and you'll have your design to hand so that you can easily refer back to where the lines need to be drawn. And this is when you'll start joining up the dots of your design. And you just need to move your ruler and pencil around and just join up the dots like this. And what you will notice here, and this is probably quite good to show, is I have missed out a little point here when I was pin pricking. So what I'm going to do is just rub out that section, and it really doesn't matter if this happens when you're doing it, because what you can do is just lay it over the top and make sure it's lined up, and then just the point that I missed is just here, and then I can just draw it out again. So there you have your design all drawn up, and next we're going to grab our acrylic gold size, which is your glue and some sort of receptacle, a pot of some sort, and you just pour in your glue. You really don't need a huge amount of this. A little goes a long way. This is water based, so you'll be able to wash it off just with water. And then you grab your brush, and what you do is you dip your glue into the brush. It's very sticky. And with your template, which shows where your sections are that you're going to be doing your gold leaf sections, you can start painting your gold size, your glue, into those sections. It's important just to take your time with this and go nice and steady, and when you get to the edges, just doing a really nice gentle sweep of the brush. You can be a bit more slapdash with the middle section to fill it all in. And you just go round and fill in the glue like this into all your different sections. So here I've got a design which I've glued up previously. It's important with the glue that you leave it for about a minimum of 15 minutes before you apply the gold leaf, otherwise it's not going to be tacky enough. So now if you touch it, it feels a bit tacky, and you'll know that that's ready to apply the gold leaf. And that's when you get your gold, your imitation gold leaf, and very simply you're turning it around so that you've got the gold facing down, and you are lying it down over the top of the design. Usually these imitation gold leaf come in large sheets, and they're actually perfect size to cover the whole of this design. You'd kind of put it in a diamond shape, and then you're literally just pressing it down and rubbing it onto the glue, and give it a good amount of, what I tend to do is brush it with my finger from the middle out, as if you're kind of going around a clock face, and that allows the gold leaf to really stick to the glue. And once you've done that, you're peeling it off, and it comes off as a whole sheet, you'll see. And this is when you need a soft brush. I actually sometimes use a makeup brush, a clean one obviously, and then you're very gently going to just brush around, and you'll see that where there's no glue, none of the gold leaf size, the gold leaf doesn't stick to that, and you'll start seeing your design appearing on here. I've started painting a few sections here, but just to show you, these are the paints that I use. As I've mentioned it before, you can use any acrylic or gouache paints. These are brilliant. I often work with brightly coloured paints, but these are wonderful to work with. These are a turquoise, teal and a fluorescent pink, and they actually work really well together to create a nice impactful design. And what I have here, it's actually just an old lid for a yogurt pot, I think, which I use to mix up my paints. So you'll see I've done a pink section here already, and I can show you once you've cleaned off your brush, make sure it's nice and clean. And this is a fantastic colour. I absolutely love this pink. And again, start off with just a little bit of the paint because you don't want to get sort of it all over the gold leaf. And you just start painting your sections. This does require a little bit of patience, and as we did with when we were painting the glue on the to stick the gold leaf down, when you're doing the edges, you do just have to go relatively slowly and carefully, just so that you get that sort of clean line. And when you get to the middle section, you can kind of be a bit freer. And you may want to, once you've painted all the sections, you may wish to go over them and touch up little bits that you've missed. And even with the gold leaf, if you've missed a section or the size, the glue hasn't quite stuck to it, you can go back with your glue, the gold size, and just touch it up with a paintbrush and then reapply. Wait till all your acrylic paint's dry, but you can slightly touch it up so that, you know, it looks a bit neater. And I'll just show you, this is the finished artwork, which I've painted in all the different sections, the pink, teal and turquoise. And it's lovely, it catches sort of in the light and hopefully looks nice and effective if you put it into a frame. One thing, if you did have time and you wanted to, what I do use is thread, and I stitch around the geometric shapes. And with this, you just need a needle and any form of thread you can buy from a haberdashery. You've probably got some lying around the house, but I tend to use these very brightly coloured threads. And this gives a really wonderful sort of textural element to the designs. And you literally, what I do is I double layer the thread just to give it a nice thickness. And the pain is trying to thread the needle, which I'm sure everyone has had the frustrating task of doing. Hopefully it's going to play ball with me today. And you just double back your thread, so you've got effectively 4 lines of thread here, and then you tie a knot in the end. And then this is, again, a bit like when you were drawing the lines between the designs. You'll see on the back you've got all these little holes, and you literally will go through the paper as if it were a bit of material, and you just work your way through the paper like this it's the important thing to do with this is to go slowly and steadily, because otherwise you get some horribly gnarled up bits of thread. I've actually done that myself. And you just pull the thread through like this. And you'll see here, you can start seeing the outline of the thread working its way through. And that, you can start seeing the impact of the thread. And it also allows you to cover up maybe some of the lines that aren't quite so neat when you've painted them. And there you have it. So you can work your way around the artwork with the thread, and you can choose any colour you like. I go for a kind of neon pink, but you can use any colour and that will give your artwork a sort of extra dimension. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this workshop. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing your creations.